Are you struggling with shifting smoothly on your dirt bike? Well, let's break it down into some simple steps that we can do easily and consistently on our bikes. What's up, guys? I'm Dakota Freeman and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. In this video, I want to teach you how to shift gears as smoothly as possible and teach you how to stand up while you're shifting your gears. After that, I'm going to teach you what the correct gear to be in on your dirt bike really is. So stick around to the end so you don't miss out. So when we're learning how to shift gears as smoothly as possible, we need to focus on all the controls that we're using when we're shifting through our gears. The controls that we're going to use when we're shifting are going to be our clutch, our throttle, and our gear shifter. These three controls are really going to have to become natural in your riding to get you to the next level. It's very important that we focus on using our clutch as slowly and smoothly as possible, especially when we're first starting out on our dirt bikes. We also want to focus on the correct order that we use all of these controls in. It's very important whenever we're shifting gears up or down, or if we're just getting started for the first time, that we never have the throttle on. We always want to make sure to let the throttle off whenever we're getting ready to shift gears. The second step is going to be to pull in your clutch. Once you pull the clutch in all the way, then now you can shift with the gear shifter. Once you shift the bike with your gear shifter, you're now just going to let the clutch back out and then reapply throttle whenever you're ready. It's important that you go through these steps in this order to ensure that your gears can shift as easily as possible and that you don't miss a gear whenever you're shifting. This is where you put the bike in neutral accidentally. The order that you use all these controls is not going to change whether you're shifting up or shifting down. You're always going to go through these steps whenever you're trying to shift as smoothly as possible. So when we are first starting out on our dirt bikes and we're sitting still, we have to get the bike rolling into motion. This is going to be really difficult whenever we're first starting on our dirt bikes. But as we work on this technique, it's really going to make the rest of our shifting much smoother. We always want to make sure that we just let the throttle off and then pull in the clutch. Since we're sitting in neutral right now, we're going to shift down into first gear so that way we can get the bike going into motion once we engage the clutch. Once you shifted down into first gear, you're still holding the clutch in, and now you're going to begin to let it out slowly and smoothly. There's a point on the clutch that begins to engage with the motor, and this is going to trigger a point of motion on your dirt bike. So as you're letting the clutch out, you're going to hit a point where the bike actually wants to roll forward into motion. At this point is when the clutch is really starting to engage with the motor, and to get the bike going into motion, we just apply a little bit of throttle. As we apply a little bit of throttle, we still want to focus on letting the clutch out slowly and smoothly until it's completely released. At that point, you're going to be rolling into motion, and you can now either let the throttle off or apply more throttle to go faster on your dirt bike. Focusing on using your clutch as smoothly as possible at this point is really going to make it much easier when you're shifting later, because this is going to be the most difficult time when we use our clutch to get the bike going into motion. Once we're rolling into motion, we no longer have to do this every single time we go through a gear shift. We'll simply just be able to let the throttle off, pull the clutch in, make our gear shift, then just let the clutch back out and reapply throttle as needed. This is going to be crucial to shifting through our gears smoothly, because if you shift with the throttle on, or if you shift without the clutch, you could miss a gear, which would put the bike in neutral accidentally. This could be very dangerous, and we really want to just focus on using all of the controls in the correct order every time we shift our gears. So other than just focusing on our clutch and releasing it slowly and doing everything in the correct order, what else can we do to make sure that when we shift through our gears, we're shifting as smoothly as possible? The next most important thing whenever we're shifting on our dirt bike is going to be timing. And as we continue learning and riding our dirt bike, we're going to soon be able to anticipate when we need to shift gears and where the best time to do that will be. A lot of the time, whenever we're getting going on our dirt bike and going down a straightaway, we're going to be shifting up through our gears and getting into a higher gear to go faster. As we come into a corner, we're going to want to start shifting down to use the engine brake and to get us in a lower gear to where when we come out of the corner, we have good acceleration. Knowing this about what's going on in the trail, we know how to anticipate when we need to be shifting our gears. The next part of this is going to be where to shift gears. If we're on a trail and it's kind of bumpy, if you have a point where you're off the ground and you're in the air, it's a lot easier on your dirt bike to be able to shift through the gears when you're not on the ground. Being able to shift up or shift down while you're in the air is going to make sure that you can shift the bike without a lot of force on the motor, and then you're going to land and already be in the next gear and able to accelerate even faster. Are you feeling more comfortable and confident on being able to use your clutch and shift through your gears smoothly? Well, make sure you like this video and drop a rad down in the comments below. The next thing I want to cover when learning how to shift through our gears smoothly is going to be shifting while we're standing up. Being able to combine standing up with shifting our gears is not only going to make it much easier on your body, this is really going to open up your world to when you can shift through your gears. A lot of the times when we're shifting our gears, we get more comfortable shifting when we're sitting down. As we develop as a rider, we're actually going to want to be able to stand up and shift through our gears as well. This may seem difficult at the beginning, but soon it's going to become very easy and you'll be able to apply it to your riding. So whenever we're standing up, we always want to be standing on the balls of our feet. This is going to be the best foot placement for when we're standing up on the dirt bike. But when we're standing on the balls of our feet, we're not going to be able to reach the rear brake or the gear shifter, and we're going to have to be able to move our feet around on the pegs. So whenever you're riding and you're standing up, practice being able to move your feet forward and back just when you're going down a straightaway. And this is just going to make it more comfortable for you to whenever you're shifting through your gears, you're going to simply just be able to move your foot from standing on the balls of your feet to up to where you hit the gear shifter or the rear brake, and then you just bring your feet right back to standing on the balls of your feet, so that way you can have the correct foot position. And when we're going through this process, we need to be able to focus on keeping our feet close to the dirt bike and just being able to go from the pegs to the gear shifter and then straight back to the pegs whenever we're done using the gear shifter or the rear brake. That way we don't accidentally hit the gear shifter or the rear brake whenever we're just riding on our dirt bikes. So being able to combine standing up on our dirt bikes and shifting our gears is going to be huge to becoming the best rider possible. And this is because a lot of the times when we're riding on our dirt bikes, we're going to be standing up. And it's imperative that you learn how to implement this into your riding so you can be able to shift while you're standing up, and this is going to make your shifting much smoother as well. Because when we're standing, our body's not getting jostled all around, and it actually makes it much easier to ride the dirt bike. So focus on being able to shift when we're standing up and using all these controls in the correct order, and your shifting is going to get so much smoother. So whenever we're learning how to shift gears as smoothly as possible, we really want to focus on shifting at the right time. So whenever we're looking for more acceleration out of the dirt bikes, we need to be down in a lower gear. And when we're looking for more top speed, we want to be in a higher gear. Knowing the gears in this kind of way is really going to make sure that you know what gear you need to be in when you're riding on your dirt bike. We're never really just in one gear when we're riding on our dirt bikes, and we're always going up and down through the gears depending on what we're doing on the tracks and trails. So being able to listen to your bike and be able to know where the RPMs are to make sure you shift at the right time is going to be huge to making sure when you shift your gears, they shift as smoothly as possible. So as we're shifting through our gears, you're going to be able to feel the RPMs get higher as we continue accelerating on our dirt bike. At a certain point, this acceleration will continue to climb until it plateaus out, and we call this the arc of the power. Once you're at the end of this gear, you're going to begin to run out of power, and right before you hit that point, you want to shift into the next gear. Being able to shift at this moment is crucial to being able to shift smoothly and get the most power and acceleration out of the next gear. Then when we shift into the next gear, you're going to hear the RPMs get lower. You're going to have a whole nother gear to go through before you run out of power. And then when we shift down, it's going to be quite the opposite. When we shift down on the dirt bike, we're actually going to hear the RPMs go from a lower point to a higher point. So being able to know what is going on here is going to be crucial to making sure that we shift our gears at the correct time, which is really going to help us shift as smoothly as possible. We always want to make sure that we shift our gears one gear at a time, and we never go through multiple gear shifts at a time. Every time we shift our gears, we should be going through one gear and then releasing the clutch and letting this affect the dirt bike. And then when you're ready to shift again, you go through all the steps in the correct order. These are truly the secrets to shifting smoothly on our dirt bikes. Be sure to practice this until it is second nature, as shifting gears is at the center of everything that we do on our dirt bikes. Are you still looking for more dirt bike riding tips? Well, I'm always here. I've created a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that will take you from being a complete beginner to an advanced rider mastering the tracks and trails. Plus, I have all my rad merch on my website as well. Did this video help you learn how to shift through your gears smoother? Well, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. Make sure you hit the subscribe button that's right here and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video right here on everything a dirt bike beginner needs to know. So go ahead and click on it, stay rad, and I'll see you guys over there.